Yeah, hi all. Just making this video for the novices out there. How to sharpen a chainsaw chain with a file. Just a few little points and a few little things to watch out for. Now the chain that's in the video, the tooth that you can see, this is what they call a full chipper tooth. The difference in that is it comes to a fairly sharp point, as you can see, whereas a semi-chipper chain, it's a brand new semi-chipper chain that I've got here just out of the box. You can see there's a bit of a radius on that. It doesn't come to a nice sharp point. What's the difference? Difference is your semi-chipper will not cut aggressively as what this is. This tooth is very aggressive, but it can blunt very easily, so especially if you hit a bit of dirt. The moment you lose that sharp point, game over. You won't be cutting very good. So where do you use the full chipper as opposed to a semi-chipper? Well, generally speaking, if you've got nice clean timber you're cutting, felling branches or whatever, even if it's cutting up some fairly big logs, as long as they don't have dirt on them, the full chipper will do the job quite well. Whereas if you touch a little bit of dirt, just touch the dirt with a semi-chipper, it's much more forgiving. Okay, let's get on with the sharpening. How do you sharpen a chainsaw? Well, first of all, there's more than two different types of chains. This is a 3/8 standard chain for a larger chainsaw, 50cc chainsaw. This here is also a 3/8, but it's a low profile chain. Now the difference also is it takes a smaller file, a 4mm file. So this 3/8 chain takes a 5.5 file or 5.2 file, whichever you get your hands on, it'll be fine. Now the thing is, most of the angles of the tooth, which is the top plate here, this is the angle we're talking about. That's the angle, so as opposed to being 90 degrees from the bar, we're talking about a 30-degree angle. So that's the angle that you want. Now, if I'm at the wrong angle, you'll see the gap at the back, and if I'm too far this way, you'll see the gap at the front. So it's pretty easy to get your angles right when you've got a new chain, that is. So you've got to maintain that angle every time that you file a chain, and also you'll find out that you've got to keep your file reasonably horizontal with a slight tilt downwards, roughly 10 degrees. What you should do, that if you've got a new chain and you've just used it, needs to be sharpened, put the file in there and try to follow that profile as best as possible. Use two hands, so push it in, push that way, and also up at the same time. So you want in and up. The reason that you want the up is that you want to create a nice sharp edge here. So you put the file in like that, push forwards. Just do that a few times, inspect, feel it, look at it. And what you've got to try not to do, and I've seen a lot of people do it, they'll push forwards and they'll pull the file back as if like a sawing action. Now this is the quickest way that you can damage your file. So when you go forwards, lift it off and come back. That's the motion that you want, pushing that way and pushing up at the same time. Then onto the next tooth. Same thing. Make sure you're in the right position, the right angle. Forwards, lift off, forwards. And you'll find out that as you file, 30 times, the file starts to get a bit, it doesn't work too good. So, they don't last forever. Throw it away and get a new one. So, all right, after you go around and you do all that side, you need to do the next side. You've got left and right hand, and that will be a matter of, for me, it's no problem. I'll swap hands and I'll do the same thing on this side. So, okay, after you've done that, the next thing that you need to do is to check this raker height, because a lot of people, if they don't know, they'll keep on filing the tooth and they won't file the raker. If that happens, then you won't be cutting much timber. Normally the raker would sit about 0.7 of a mil below the tooth, and that means that the raker strikes the wood, and that 0.7 of a mil, you end up with a nice little chip. If the raker sort of cuts into the wood a little bit, then you'll get a larger chip. Now, the way that you check that is that you lay this particular unit from still. I like to do it the other way because I'm right-handed. I prefer to do it this way anyway. So what you do, you place this unit over the teeth, and if the raker is sticking up, you'll feel it. So if the raker is sticking up, then you'll take the file and you'll file 2-3 times and you'll check. Now, if it took about 3 passes of the file, then you could probably safely assume that you could do that to the rest of the teeth. So that's what the little gadget is. They're probably about $10. You can buy different ones, but that's a steel one, so it works pretty good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.